Well, hello there. Welcome to the Redstone Creativity Panel. This is going to be about all things Redstone. We got a lot of great people up here, and we got a lot of great people out there. That's you guys, and on the live stream. And so today we're going to do a couple introductory videos to show you some of the things that a couple of us have done, and then we're pretty much just going to open it up to questions and answers. And just keep it on Redstone, but yeah, we want to hear a lot of variety. Let me introduce everyone that's up here. The two gentlemen on this end, you may recognize from Minecraft PG5, because that's their shirts. On the far end, we have Bluesen, and then Elros, closer to the middle. Generic B is right here next to me. We have over here Cube Hamster. And then on the end, JL2579. I'm Seth Bling, and welcome back, I guess. I've been roped into moderating this, so I'm going to be kind of hosting. The first thing we're going to do is show a video that JL put together.
Yep.
Just some of the stuff he's done, and yeah, you want to roll it?
Yeah. So let me quickly introduce myself beforehand. So yeah, I'm also doing a lot of Redstone videos, and I do have a survival series where I'm trying to push the edge on what's possible in survival mode. And yeah, I'm using a lot of Redstone creations for this. So since this is the Redstone panel, I will just show you three examples of what I've built so far. This is a TNT cannon I've made. Reloading mechanisms, and yeah, just enjoy the ride. Right now you see the TNT reloading.
What happened to the structure?
And if you look at the white coordinate, we are now 11 kilometers in the sky. And to the left, there is the sun. Yeah, the ride takes about 4 minutes, so I skipped this till you hit the bottom. But here you can see the cannon from the outside, just someone else entering it. And there is over 4,000 TNT stored into this, so if any redstone is misplaced, the whole thing blows up. And yeah, that's the next creation I wanted to show. That's an 8x8 piston gate I made. Can you raise the volume?
Just take a look at it in action.
No,
one more time.
you
I
have
hope
to do it.
this thing here works, because yeah, we'll see.
I mean of the video. So.
And if not, you will see what happens when it's just moved by a little bit. But let's take a look at the pistons here. Pretty active here, almost done. And this all floods all the mob drops into the center. And now let's finally start this mob farm here. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, this mob trap is producing a double chest of TNT per hour.
Enjoy the show. This
A lot
mob
of
farm
stuff.
here
If you ever want to grind a
only
lot
uses one double chest
of
of
gunpowder,
this, so even in single player,
you could
I
build
would
something
say
like this.
this is possible to build in single player. And also one tip for you, you don't even have
Yeah,
to
so
light
that's
up the
my
cave
content.
if you build
I
this
guess
trap
it's,
over the ocean,
this time
and
now.
you can simply build another tower.
Hey everyone, I'm Cube Hamster. I also do lots and lots of redstone, but unlike JL, I mostly stick to creative, so I'm not really forcing myself to grind everything like he does, which is, I respect that though, that's really cool. But seeing as I think most of you people probably don't know me, I just have a really short video showing a couple things I've done, and I sort of threw it together in, I don't know, 15 minutes before I had to leave for my train, so.
There's the full screen.
Can someone help me? Because Mac? No.
Well, just move the slider to the left.
Apparently we are not Mac users.
There's full screen.
Redstone computers.
Yeah. Hamster here with a new video. Yeah. Yesterday I released an 8.
No, you moved it back to...
I'm a Windows guy, I don't know. Anyways,
Mike.
this is...
Cube.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Mike. This is an 11 by 11 button panel, and just where every individual button is hooked up to an output. I try to compress stuff as small as possible, so this is a random dice you can roll in a 9 by 9 area with a display, and like the one block I really try to not get in my creations is air blocks. I try to minimize that as much as possible. So like it's completely random, uses dispensers with water. This is a flush with the wall hidden railway. So you press a button and then a mechanism pops up a rail from the wall. This is my tree eater design. You put a tree and the tree, all the leaves get destroyed, and a sand pillar pushes up all the wood blocks that go into a conveyor belt and basically gets stored into a giant block, and the whole thing resets itself. So completely automated. This is a puzzle I did. I also do puzzles. This is a 3D lights out. That's what it looks like on the inside. This is a one lever combination lock with 33 million different combinations. That's like 33 million combinations in that device. One lever, that's all it needs. And this is my pride, 14th floor elevator, where you can go up and down each floor. Doesn't matter what floor you're on, you actually don't have to wait for the elevator to come, because the moment you click the button, it's just going to reset the elevator to where you are at that point. So it's actually more efficient than elevators in real life, in a way. But it's one person only, because if you do this with two person, then one of the people is probably going to die. But yeah, that's just some examples of stuff I've done. Yeah.
Oh, you're good. The rest of us don't have videos, but we're going to briefly just introduce ourselves and the way in which we use Redstone. I tend to like to make really small contraptions. I don't do much of that really complicated mush of Redstone stuff. I try and do really simple, kind of elegant inventions, and I also like to do custom maps, PvP games. That's one of my favorite things to do with Redstone. And I don't really play much survival. It's mostly creative. So yeah, I'm sort of in the same boat with that respect. But yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I too take a radically different approach than those two geniuses over there. I'm primarily survival as well, And I concentrate more on the smaller scale, practical redstone designs, except not practical at all, I guess. So I'll take something, for instance, you need a egg farm, or you need a melon farm. I'll find something, find a design, or create a design that's efficient sometimes, definitely easy to do and easy to understand. And then I also have a series called Redstone Academy, which is something I wish I had when I first started. It's breaking it down, understanding the three basic redstone components, which is redstone dust, a redstone torch, and a repeater, and how that interacts with the inputs and the outputs. And just really understanding the basic building blocks of, I need to be able to turn a signal on and off. That's a T flip-flop. I need just a little bit of a signal, so that's a pulse limiter. So it's being able to understand the behaviors of that and piecing it together to do virtually whatever you want. I'm not good at compacting stuff, though. Not like those guys.
Yeah, we do all stuff with redstone creations, mini games, small contraptions, SMP stuff, creative stuff. Yeah, I think most. Yeah.
Really awesome stuff. So we've introduced ourselves and shown you kind of some of the stuff that we do and some of the stuff you can do with Redstone. At this point, we are going to open it up to Q&A. Now there are 2 mics right there and there. If you would like to ask us a question, please line up behind the mics, and we'll take some questions. They're right there and there. Okay, I guess we'll start over here
Okay.
on them.
What project took the most redstone?
What project took the most redstone? I guess we can each answer the question individually. So, JL, do you want to start?
I actually don't know. I mean, in survival mode, we have built up several projects which took like 2 or 3 double chests of redstone. If you build a big mob trap, or other designs, for example, we also plan designs for the Nether. And for my survival inventions, I usually don't count the amount of redstone, but it's definitely you count it in double chests if you want. So thousands of redstone.
For me, it's a project that sort of stopped at the moment, but I started working on a long time ago, a puzzle map. And there were just tons of different contraptions, so in the same world. But luckily I didn't have to mine any of that, so that's good. And the reason it stopped at the moment is because, as you guys know, Mojang is constantly, updating Redstone and changing stuff, so most of it broke. It's a sad story.
It's kind of an interesting question because for those of us who use Creative and especially MC Edit, you can do copying and pasting, and so I can, if I want, I can make a billion redstone all in whatever, and it won't do anything. But I think the project that has had the most like redstone dust and everything that I've done might have been my color display on the map, where you use kind of pistons to control the pixels on the map. And there's a lot of it's just copy and pasted, though. Basically, anytime I have lots of redstone, it's copy and pasted, but that was probably the most.
12 pistons.
The most redstone we used was in Rainbow Card Punch. That's our, I think, first digital diamond. And in the tower defense, I think, this is our biggest maps. Yeah.
All right, gentleman on the right.
Compacting redstone, is there a technique or a process you can give?
Well, when I start a project, mainly if it involves pistons, the first thing I try and do is just work out where pistons have to go and like what blocks they have to push, so that's where you start. And then generally it just involves lots of trial and error. So you start really big and then you try and see hey, wait, this signal here I can reuse. That's basically mostly what the compacting is. You're trying to reuse signals from stuff you hooked up to other things. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, if I want to add something, it's about building in 3D, not in 2D. I mean, if you begin with Redstone, you usually just try this out flat and just wire up another wire just way around the whole contraption if you need another signal. And yeah, you start just slowly making the stuff in 3D, and then you also try to just, for example, use pistons instead of torches in Redstone that usually compactify stuff, also for monostable circuits and so on. You can build pretty much everything out of pistons, and this makes it smaller. Yeah, and pretty much
smaller and more laggy.
More laggy, but if you have a good PC, it doesn't matter.
No.
All right, thank you.
I was wondering if there was any way to make or a toggle thing where if it gets powered, it switches its output. So I'm using monostable circuits for that kind of stuff right now, but I was wondering if there's a more compact way.
Okay, so that's generally called a T flip-flop. That is the technical name. It is actually a technical name. And so you can look that up on Minecraft Wiki or anything. I want to just quickly say we're not, we can't really answer questions about specific designs or anything. We don't have a whiteboard, and it would take a long time. So, I mean, if you want to ask about names of things like that, that's fine. But it'd probably be best if you didn't ask about specific designs, but more general Redstone design questions, I guess.
I think you could also watch Generic B's Redstone Academy. I think he covers it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Redstone repeaters have gotten a new function as of late. Have you guys made any big things with the new function? Or any hints?
I've seen some interesting T flip-flop designs actually using the Redstone lock that kind of depend on button input. Honestly, I'm not sure that it really added that many new possibilities. I have actually used it in one of my circuits recently just because I already had some Redstone hooked up and it was just the easiest way to wire something together. So it's just kind of a tool of convenience for a lot of people. I'm not sure that it really revolutionizes any circuits. Maybe for digital logic though, actually, but
yeah, like shift registers.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've seen that could have been interesting, and you can use it for puzzles. Yeah. But,
yeah.
No.
So yeah. All right.
Do you have any tips on concealing redstone?
The question was, are there any tips on concealing redstone?
I don't know. I really like my redstone to show, but like I want to be able to see what's going on. It's a good question, though.
Yeah. I mean, typically what I do, the first thing is if you can make it as small as possible, then you don't have to worry about concealing it too much. But I typically build underground, and so it's really easy for me if I've got a certain room and there's my button that's going to open the door. I just make sure that in between all my rooms I've built enough space for redstone, and so you've kind of got like in a house you'll have a crawl space. If you just build yourself a nice 3 or 4 block high crawl space underneath everything, you can put there's designs if you need a T flip-flop. There's a 1 block high T flip-flop, so you can really cram in a lot of stuff in a small space. Or just put leaves everywhere, and that'll work.
Also, slabs and stairs are kind of helpful because you can put them kind of over a redstone step and it won't block the signal. Yeah.
It's like you say.
The most complicated thing I've made was a 4x4 piston door that was hidden with no piston showing when it was open. I want to know what is the most complicated door that you have ever made.
I guess I just showed it in the video. This the 8x8 piston door, which is horizontally.
No, vertical.
Yeah, actually, I haven't made much more than a 3x3 door. I wasn't. There are so many YouTube designs already, so I thought it was already done. You already have the best doors out there, so I tried on other designs.
The biggest door I made with pistons was 5x6, but that's outdated now. The biggest flush door I've seen on YouTube is 5x5, and by flush I mean that you basically you see a wall.
Yeah, mine was flush.
And then it's a door. That's the biggest I've seen, 5x5.
Biggest one I've seen was 8x12.
Flush.
Flush.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I don't tend to try and make doors because there's like already an 8x12 flush door. That's crazy. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest we made is I think 5x5, but I've seen some Brazilian guy like 26 by something like that. Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger, and I personally don't like it so much because it just opens 5 minutes or something like that.
All right, this gentleman on the left.
Why do you guys keep breaking our game?
The question from Dinnerbone was, why do you guys keep breaking our game? Hi, Dinnerbone.
It's a serious question.
I could ask you the same question, my friend.
It's fun.
I can take a stab at that. I mean, I do a lot of weird things in Minecraft. I try and always come up with something new, and so I will often do things that no one's ever tried before because, like, why would you? I don't know. Yeah, there's just a lot of weird things that I do. So I tend to hit circumstances that other people won't hit, and as a result, it looks like I'm breaking your game, but your game was actually, in fact, already broken. And I was just the one to find it. So, but I think JL could probably talk about that a lot more.
Yeah.
He finds a lot of bugs.
The point is, what do you define as breaking the game? Since Minecraft is pretty much a sandbox game, for me it's like, oh, a new pre-release. Wow, the wither has been added. Let's see what we can do with the wither. He destroys blocks. Let's make an automatic tree, obsidian, and cobble farm out of it. And some people consider this as breaking because the wither is actually intended to be a big threat, which everyone has just fears instead of just encaging him and making him a slave. Yeah, that's what I have the most fun in Minecraft, just trying to push the edge on what's possible in survival, and that's also why I'm trying to do things which other people might consider as breaking stuff, like, okay, we've developed several possible ways to duplicate blocks with pistons, just sand and gravel. But that's really, for example, in the TNT cannon design I showed you, I also used this just in a very creative way, not to abuse it in any way. And it just really, you have to define yourself if you break the game or not, since you can also use mods if you want something to add. And there's the creative mode anyway, so yeah, it's up to you.
Hi. Redstone is like electronics, so you have wires and things like that. What are the unique properties of Minecraft which makes so great to experiment? Because of course you can't do this with an electric circuit, although you could. But of course Minecraft makes it better. Why is it better than going out and doing it with wires? What makes it unique?
There is no currents. You don't have to worry about wires burning or just a lot of hassle of voltage and current. Yeah, that's just gone.
I think a lot of what makes it special is that, like, you can't use regular electronic circuits to like kill zombies or shoot TNT hundreds of meters. There's this whole fantastical setting around the game that lets you interact with it in a lot of different ways, and I think a lot of the appeal for what the Redstoners do is that, I mean, there's a lot of people playing this game normally using these normal blocks in pretty normal ways, and we're using the same block. We're using the same blocks, but we're doing logic with it, and electronic circuits don't have that same context around it, and so it just makes it a lot more fun when you feel like you can do all this stuff that you couldn't really do in real life.
I think that.
What do you think about the new direction that Redstone is taking towards going more analog, like with capacitors and weighted pressure plates? And how do you think it's going to affect like Redstone mechanics and new designs?
I'm super excited personally. And anytime there's more to play with, that's awesome. So I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to allow for a lot more room to play around, and that's what I love. So.
This will be interesting. Yeah. So I think Cube and I have talked about this, and I think we have different opinions. I'm very excited because 1.5 is supposedly going to fix a lot of the Redstone glitches, which happen to be a lot of the things that we currently exploit, so to speak, to do things like bud switches and day-night sensors. But at the same time, I would rather have a legitimate solution or legitimate Redstone solution to be able to do those things instead of relying on glitches, because it makes inefficient Redstone designs if you're working off of glitches. So is it going to completely destroy everything that we've done in the past year? Probably, but it's kind of good because it wipes the slate clean. We can all do new redesigns and do it the right way.
The reason like I said, I spoke with JB about it, also a bit with Dinnerbone already. Like there's a lot of like the north-south glitch. I could happily do without. I'm really gonna miss butt switches if they were to disappear. But if there is going to be a good solution, then that's going to be fine. But I'm really worried about is there like every update at the moment they're changing it, the game without adding something that would significantly make me want to redesign my designs. And I think like they're gonna change minecarts and how that works. I'm really excited about that. But like they added the new repeater locks, and I looked back at my old designs thinking, how could I use this to improve what I already have? But I couldn't really think of anything that would improve. So yeah, I'm going with the flow, and it's going to be some getting used to for me and for a lot of other Redstoners, I think. Yeah, we'll just wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, I have two things to add, and first is considering the bugs and the glitches. I think what no one likes and what everyone wants to get fixed is just in any kind of inconsistency in Redstone, like the South quirk makes it impossible to turn around certain contraptions, or other stuff like if you build two large Redstone contraptions, the Redstone, the order in which the blocks get updated sometimes messes up. And so, for example, my door I just showed, I can't move it to another place or turn it around, or even if I open it several times, it just sometimes breaks. And the inconsistency is, if that's gonna get fixed, that will really help a lot of developers. Yeah. But things like butt switches and other rail glitches, they really made so many contraptions possible that I think that there will either be a replacement or they won't touch it because the community, the community wants it. And yeah, for the new features, I think I'm mostly looking forward. I heard that there will be a possible way to actually automatically put items into chests and minecarts, like items from the environment, pretty much suck them into a chest, and this will revolutionize systems like storage systems and any kind of item processing system. And I'm really looking forward to this because this will add a complete new functionality to Redstone, I guess.
Actually, we are really excited about that because everything would change in Minecraft, gives us our chance to do a new video or to invent something new.
Next question.
Are you worried about any future Redstone updates that may occur in the further future?
Are we worried about them? Is that the question?
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of just talked about that. I have full confidence that Mojang, I mean, over the past few months, they've really been showing that they've been listening to the community, and they've been adding a lot of great new features for people who like to do the redstone and technical stuff. So I don't think there's any way that Mojang will let anything really deteriorate seriously, and I think there's going to be a ton of new features coming. So I have full faith that things are just going to go uphill. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
What redstone-like contraption did you enjoy making the most?
Like I do a variety, like the ones I showed on the video are really big and some of them are really time consuming. But interesting enough, I also do really small designs and I sort of enjoy them just as much as the big ones, just because you get it done really quickly, you quickly get your result. So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same for me. I really do enjoy when there's a new pre-release and just pretty much hidden feature which you can suddenly turn into a complete new creation. Like, for example, in one of the recent patches, they changed the way items would pop out of blocks when they are blocked. And yeah, I just found out, wait, you can make an automatic item elevator. When an item is stuck in a block, it will just continuously raise. And yeah, that's was done really quickly, just like 2 hours or so, and it's set up, and you really enjoy when it's small and simple. But you also enjoy the big contraptions as well. It's just like, wow, I've done it, I made it, because we are struggling and so many problems when it's going big, and yeah, if you have overcome them, you really do enjoy it.
I really like making the PvP maps. I like game design, I like thinking about it, and when I get to actually take the redstone knowledge that I have, apply it in cool ways, and then share that with my friends, play the games with them, that's just really cool for me.
I think my favorite things are the designs that I accomplish simple everyday things in the most goofiest way possible. Because that's what makes it fun to me. So like for instance, I recently made one, I call it the Tater Quake Farm. And it's nothing more than a series of minecarts going over detector rails with pistons over them, dirt on top of that, and then that's where I plant my potatoes. And you push a button, all the carts roll. It's this big giant earthquake that harvests all the potatoes. It's not efficient, it's silly, it's definitely not the best way to go farming wise, but it's things like that. It's just doing something completely ridiculously stupid, that I really enjoy doing.
Actually, I think the stuff you like the most. When we do video, I mean, we see how many views it got and something like that, and when it's liked, we liked it too.
When you guys think of an idea, what stages do you take to get it into your world?
Like I derp around quite a lot, just experimenting, doing stuff, and then all of a sudden it just snaps, and then you get your idea. So I have a server, and occasionally people come on just to sort of watch me build, and then like it feels really stupid because I most of the time have no idea what the hell I'm doing, just doing stuff. And then all of a sudden, yeah, you get like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. But what also really helps is I'm subscribed to like a lot of channels, like a lot of small channels as well. And you never know when someone has like an idea, but that hasn't gone to its full potential. So I watch a video like, wow, you could use that for even better stuff. And then it evolves from there.
Yeah, for me, I am playing on a server, so I'm not just one guy actually, and yeah, just if we do have an idea, I just talk to the others about it, then we all derp around. But if 3 people derp around, then they can come up with something sometimes quicker than if just 1 people is derping around. And yeah, that's pretty much CubeHamster explained it quite well. Sometimes suddenly the light goes on in your head and you start building, but before you're just trying out stuff.
That derping, yeah.
Most for Sifblick and CubeHamster, have you ever tried the red power mod, which make redstone way more compact?
No. I actually, I do want to try out Feed the Beast though. After it's on mod pack, I want to try that out after I get back. I had actually wanted to try it out before MineCon, but I was busy working on the Team Fortress stuff. So, yeah, I want to try it out. I like sticking to vanilla. I feel like it's an interesting challenge, but I think it'd be cool to see what the new possibilities are with mods. So.
I haven't tried it, and I'm not saying I never will, but I do really enjoy because Redstone offers like different challenges, trying to make stuff as small as possible. It's like a puzzle for me, trying to fit everything into as small a space as possible. And I think that Red Power might, because I'm not fully aware of what you can and can't do, might sort of remove the challenge for me.
Is there anything in Minecraft that you've wanted to make and can't? Or if not, what's giving you the most difficulty?
Like 1x1 pixel displays would be awesome, but we can't at the moment. Impossible. Yeah.
There's one project me and our server crew have been working on. I mean, not all the time, but I'm pretty much working on it for 8, 9, 10 months already. Just from time to time, we continue working on it. It's just a combination of pretty much all of our knowledge about a lot of parts of the game mechanic. And I don't want to say what it is exactly, but since it's still a secret. But there is one project I'm struggling to finish. Yes, but usually it's either we say I don't try it, or I do it till it's done.
I think there's loads of projects that I kind of have wanted to do, but that just don't work out. But I think that's an interesting part of the challenge: is what is possible, what isn't, and figuring out what you can do. So, sure, there's probably a lot of things that I've tried, but it doesn't bother me at all, and I don't want the game to change just because of that. Like I really love the challenge of figuring out what's possible or not. Next question.
Okay, what's the most interesting way you've broken Dinnerbone's game, and how did you discover it?
Maybe Dinnerbone should answer that question.
Ghost mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. We found a way to be. Let me quickly describe what I'm talking about. The ghost mode. We found a way how you can be invisible and invincible in survival mode. And yeah, you can pretty much, since the others can't see you, you can explore around. You're also not able to interact with the environment other than in just certain ways. I called it a ghost mode. And we just stumbled across on it on accident. The point is you pretty much do it by riding a pig and then sleeping in a bed while riding a pig, and then you kill the pig, and after that you have to enter a minecart, and it just completely glitches out. I have a video about it to explain it better because it's actually pretty complicated, but it's just fun.
He's serious though.
How in the world did you ever figure that out?
Just derping around together.
Yeah, DL derping.
Yeah. And just other stuff, like the sand generators, they've been in the game for such a long time, and just every time they say, hey, they fixed the sand generators, okay, we are sure they didn't fix anything. We'll just change the timing, and it will work again, and that's how it has been like this. I guess it's pretty much the 5th time already they tried to fix it, and it still works.
Yeah. It's a really hard problem to solve, though. It's okay.
Have you ever found a decent use for redstone repeater locks?
What's the question?
Have you ever found a decent use for redstone repeater locks? Because I haven't.
The redstone repeater locks. We kind of already addressed that earlier. Like I said, there was a T flip-flop design and some other just tools of convenience, but I don't think any of us has found anything that's really changed the game for us.
No.
Is that right? Unless anyone?
No.
Okay, yeah, so. Next question.
Is there actually a way to destroy a block using redstone so you can actually pick it up as an item?
TNT.
Yeah.
There used to be actually a bug where you could use sticky pistons to delete a block. I mean, for certain blocks, you can just use pistons, like leaves, I think you can get rid of with pistons. There's some other stuff like that. I think most blocks you probably can't, but JL would be the one who would know.
You can still, like the sand duplicator, there's also a block deleter. If you hook up certain really strange clocks to piston contraptions, it's still possible to let a block vanish. Even your precious diamond blocks.
And then you sleep in the bed with a squid.
Yeah, but there's usually no use in just removing blocks. That's, yeah. So it is possible, but not useful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Before Minecraft, do you guys ever had any relationship with like electricity or redstone things, you know, but not redstone?
Yeah, I'll go. I was an electrical engineering student in college, so I never want to see another resistor or capacitor. Oh, I guess I'm going to see capacitors again. Yeah, so I mean, I'm all the digital logic gates and everything is. I've got a background in that, so we mentioned before how redstone is a bit more fun to play with than legitimate circuitry. But a lot of that knowledge carries over because it's a logical way of thinking. If this is on and this is off, then you want this certain condition to happen. So yeah, I've got a background in it.
I have a degree in computer science, and that's similar sort of stuff. The logic is a big component of that. So, and the engineering. So it's all, yeah. I have a bit of an education in that too.
I'm a physics and chemistry teacher in a middle school in real life. So that's where that, yeah. I also teach logic. So
yeah, I'm also a physics student. So we do learn some kind of electric circuitry as well. But actually, I did this after Minecraft. So after I started playing Minecraft. But maybe something which is related to Minecraft. Before I played Minecraft, before I discovered it, I used to play Trackmania, and it's pretty much the same. Just you're building tracks instead of just contraptions, but it's also it's the only limit is your imagination and your creativity, and yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, actually, we are electrical engineering students in Munich, and yeah.
There you go. Next question.
What was the funnest thing you've made from Redstone?
For me, it was the Team Fortress 2 maps. It's the most fun I've had playing Minecraft in a long time.
For me, I think a long time ago I did puzzle challenges, and one of the puzzles I did was called the Secret Society of the Petals Around the Rose. And yeah, that was a lot of fun to really hard puzzle to sort of build, and then to see people struggling to solve it. That's
actually, I think the most funny part was Guitar Hero. We remade Guitar Hero in Minecraft, and it was really fun with this music, actually. And yeah.
Seth Bling and I did a Redstone Wars together. And the theme was Rube Goldberg machines, which is essentially the most complex, ridiculous contraption to do something really simple. And I think for me that was the most fun I've had in Redstone. Not all of that was Redstone, but there was definitely some pieces to it.
Yeah, for me it probably was trolling people the first time with this ghost mode thing.
What new Redstone items/features would you like to see in future updates besides, I meant what Mojang hasn't announced yet?
Lasers. I'm looking at you, Tinnerbone. But he's shaking his head. Yeah. But it's lasers.
What I really want already, like for months now, is movable source blocks. So a redstone block which powers pistons, redstone lights, adjacent redstone, which you can move around, and it would make for contraptions that could maybe move a bit more themselves. Would make doors, wiring up doors, a lot easier. yeah, I've got more specific details on like how it should be done. There's also other people that have thought about it, but I think that would really add a lot to the game. But I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah, same here. I also thought about the same idea as Cube did. Yeah, I think that's what I also would like to add to the game.
By the way, you can push around detector rails with minecarts on them, but that's not quite as versatile as...
Yeah, no, we've already used that, but the problem with that is that they need something underneath in order for them to work. Because I've used lots of minecarts in my contraptions already, but it's not reliable, inconsistent. Yeah.
What is your tip for beginner redstoners?
Well, I mean, the way I started out was I started putting redstone dust on the ground, and then I had no idea what it was, so I looked on the wiki, and I basically just learned by, just looking on the wiki at how things worked, and I watched some YouTube tutorials too. Nowadays, there's a lot more resources than when I was starting out, though, and there are some, like we were saying, Generic B's Redstone Academy. There's some really good intro tutorials, so YouTube videos are actually a great way to do it, I think, too.
Yeah, like you said, I also started with the wiki, and what really got me started was watching CMB's tutorials. I think most people that start Redstone have seen some of his stuff, and that really got me rolling and understanding it.
Yeah, for me, I think you should check out either Sethblink's or Generic B's tutorials. When I started Redstone, there were no real YouTube tutorials on it, only the wiki. So I also learned from this and just from playing with others. But by now, I guess the best way to start is just trying to find some good tutorials and then just play together with other Redstoners. I mean, there are lots of public servers where people do build Redstone contraptions, and best way is learning by doing. So try to find someone which is around at the same level or who needs help at this project. And yeah, there are lots of people, hundreds or thousands of people on many servers which want to work together with you, and that's a good idea.
And don't get scared if you like build something and you see someone else has done like a better job, maybe make it smaller or more compact or more, yeah, you know, just keep trying and you'll get better yourself. Don't get scared because you think that what you do is not good, because it is good. I mean, you're just learning, you're progressing.
Yeah, actually another cool trick is you can look at what somebody else has done, maybe follow a block by block tutorial, and you might not understand it at first, but if you start to break it up and analyze what breaking parts of it do, you might figure out what the tricks are that they've used, and that's probably a good way to learn new tricks and how other people tend to approach Redstone, which might inform the way that you can do it. So, all right, next question.
If there ever is a redstone block, if it's ever implemented, what uses would you like it to have?
It has to be able to move. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's two things that kind of make sense for that. One would be like the movable power source, and then another would be I think if there was going to be a block update detector block, that would make a lot of sense too. So.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Would you like to see logic gates in like one block, and if you did, why?
Could you repeat the question?
Would you like to see in Minecraft, if not, to put in logic gates, but only in one block?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like in Red Power.
Like Red Power.
I'll go for it.
Yeah, I would say no, because the fun part of Redstone is actually designing stuff yourself and making it compact. And it's just like, I mean, you don't know how your computer works. It's pretty much the same concept as Redstone, but yeah, it's just too complicated and you can't look inside. And I don't want to have pre-built structures in the game. It's much more fun to actually see stuff working. You just need very basic ideas like a line which can be in the on state or in the off state, and a torch which inverts the signal. And okay, there's the repeater and the piston, and that's all you need. And if there are too many blocks, it's just making it too simple, I guess, because it's also a lot of the fun part, just pretty much starting with the core structures and still keeping it compact.
I don't know if this is how the Red Power mod works or not, but I do think it would be cool if you had, let's say, like a redstone chest, and you open that up and you can lay out whatever circuitry you want. You know, that way you can always go under the hood and change things, and you have an input and an output. But to actually change the vanilla game to do that, I think that would be too much of a difference. It'd be a great mod. I'm sure it's already out there.
Yeah, I just want to say I agree. I kind of agree with JL. I like the fact that there's a few very simple components that you can combine to make really complex things, and kind of targeting those the logic circuits too much with new features. It adds a level of complexity to the basic building blocks that I think almost sort of like ruins a little bit of the magic behind Redstone. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't use them, but that's just for me. I really like that there's just a few simple building blocks. So.
Yeah, maybe one thing to add, you actually do learn a lot more. I mean, at school, if you ever learn about electric circuitry, you also learn how exactly an XOR gate works with transistors. And so you can just see how it is in action, and you do actually learn something for your life also, if you're ever doing some kind of engineering job. And you won't do this if it's just a single component which is already pre-built.
Yeah. Next question.
What was the very first thing you built with Redstone?
I can answer this. The very first thing, and the reason I got into Redstone initially, was minecarts. The first thing I built was a minecart station where you could arrive at the minecart station, and you could just get out of the minecart, go about your business, and then get right back in on the minecart, and it would automatically depart again. And if I built that right now, it would probably take me a couple minutes, and I could do it in 5x5 space or something. But when I built this at the time, I had like a giant upstairs room with all the redstone, and I was putting stuff here and here, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of muddling along, but that's what I'm talking about. That's the experimentation process that you have to do when you're just starting out. And it was way bigger than it needed to be, but in order for me to learn it, it was exactly as big as it had to be.
For me, it was like stairs that would pop out of the ground, and it was ridiculous, like the size. I think it was like 200 by 200 by 200 or something. And just looking back at what I did, this was so stupid. But it's a learning process. So it worked, though. That was the accomplishment.
Yeah, actually, I don't know anymore when I started or what was my first project was, but I think I started with minecart stations like Sapling did. Yeah, that's pretty much the first problem you stumble across. You're on a server, you're not able to probably launch in a minecart because it's just lagging and stuff, and you want to automate the process.
You guys put me to shame so bad. my very first project that I put up on YouTube was a button to open a door. And I thought and what's bad about it is it was technically wrong. I had a block with a button and then a piston that went down that would push over a torch and all this stuff, and I put it up and I was so proud. And then I started getting the comments, and they said, "Why didn't you just put a repeater that would send the signal out?" And I was like, I didn't know repeaters could do that. So, yeah, that's my very first. I've come a little way.
Actually, we started like playing on a server together with some friends, and we had bases like miles away, and tried to connect it together, and that was like started to do some minecart stations together, and that was so big. I mean, silly.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reason why a lot of us started with minecarts is actually, well, back in Alpha, which is when I started, and I think they started. I mean, minecarts were almost the only thing that would actually interact with Redstone. So nowadays there's a lot more you can do if you want to start out, which I think is really cool. All right, let's go to the next question. Actually, I think we only have time for one more, so sorry.
I know that some of the big projects might be like really time consuming. What's sort of like the drive that you have that says, okay, I'm going to finish this and it'll be good?
The fact that it'll be good when you finish it. Like, you know, it's, I mean, if you're, yeah, I mean, we all want to see the final result of our things, and that's the reward. I mean, the process is also good. You're usually learning a lot along the way, especially if it's a really complicated thing. So, but I mean, yeah, it's just we really love what we do. We really want to make things that are awesome, and so that's the motivating factor.
Yeah, just in general, like if you're building something complex and you know, I can get this to work. I know it must be physically possible somehow to get this to work, and just yeah, sort of driven to get that done. And I mean, I've had contraptions where I literally, like that combination lock I showed earlier. That was, I know I could get it working, but it was literally 8 hours of just debugging, just to give sort of an impression, just because something wasn't working properly. But yeah, that's me, I guess.
Yeah, for me it's pretty much the same.
I think a big driver is knowing that it will entertain you guys in some way. No one likes a half-finished project.
All right, well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for the panel. Really appreciate you guys coming out and checking it out. Thanks, everyone watching on the live stream. Thanks, guys.